Joseph was testing the brotherly love of his brothers in order to accomplish Israel's descent into Egypt as one united community. Only if their love was restored could they enter Egypt without division. Only then could the future Exodus also happen as one people. During this testing, Joseph wept in secret twice because his love for his brothers was so deep. But this time, he could no longer restrain himself. He heard Judah begging to take Benjamin's place as a slave. For the sake of their father and their youngest brother, Judah was willing to give his own life. In that love, Joseph received unspeakable comfort. The tears he had long held back finally broke out. Joseph wept aloud. Tears do not come only from sorrow. They come when longing is fulfilled, when deep anxiety is released, when the beloved is found again, when gratitude and awe overflow. Joseph's tears were all these at once, not resentment, not bitterness. While weeping, Joseph called his brothers near. "I am Joseph, your brother whom you sold into Egypt. Do not be distressed. Do not blame yourselves. God sent me before you to preserve life. The famine has already lasted 2 years, and 5 more remain. God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant on earth and to keep you alive by a great deliverance. It was not you who sent me here, but God." Joseph earnestly comforted them. "Do not grieve. Do not regret." What a beautiful heart. To be sent ahead meant he already knew and had been waiting. Joseph knew his calling was to receive his brothers and keep them alive. Though they had done wrong, apart from that, he still had a mission to enter Egypt. It was God's great salvation for the whole family. How did Joseph know this? When you believe the covenant, you see the future. If we connect the covenant given to Abraham and the dreams given to Joseph, God's purpose becomes clear. Your offspring will be strangers in a foreign land for 400 years. But afterward they will come out with great possessions. Joseph listened carefully to this promise of God. He connected his own life to that covenant. He realized he had not come to Egypt by accident, but had been sent to open the way for Israel's descent into Egypt. Because he believed the covenant, he knew the future. Because he received the mission, he could overcome bitterness and wounds and fully forgive and love. Otherwise, why would God, who gave him dreams of leadership in Israel, raise him through suffering in a foreign land to become a prime minister? Interpreting Pharaoh's dreams had the same purpose. God's plan was to prepare for the 7 years of famine and receive Israel. During the 7 years of plenty, even after becoming ruler, Joseph did not seek his beloved father, because during the famine, he was waiting for his brothers to come. Longing for the success of Israel's descent into Egypt, Joseph rose above personal emotion and remained faithful to God's vision. So Joseph says again, "God sent me before you to preserve your lives by a great deliverance." Because he knew God's plan, there was no resentment in him. Instead, he lived with the awe and hope of one entrusted with a mission. This is the heart of a king who bears the cross. Loyalty to God, love that takes responsibility for the community, a heart that does not calculate its own suffering but chooses self-sacrifice. That is why Joseph became a kingly ruler, and in Judah's words, Joseph recognized the same heart. The hearts of both men resemble the heart of Jesus, who bears the cross. Jesus deeply shared and represented the heart of the Father. The cross for sinners is love representing God. For God, it is atonement representing sinners. Jesus died willingly so that we might live with him. Joseph and Judah also gave themselves to save those they loved, so they might live together. So Joseph says, "Bring my father, your children, and all your possessions. Come down to me. Live near me in the land of Goshen. 5 years of famine remain. I will provide for you. You will lack nothing." Because he loved his father, he took responsibility for everyone who belonged to him. Goshen was wide pasture land, good for flocks, and near Canaan. It was the perfect place for Israel to live together and multiply. Joseph had already prepared the future, looking far toward the Exodus, a land where Israel could flourish, a land where they could live as one people and depart as one people. That land was Goshen. Yet one question remained. Would Pharaoh receive Israel? But Pharaoh and his officials rejoiced. "Bring your father and family. I will give you the best land of Egypt. You will eat the fat of the land." This welcome was because of Joseph. His interpretations were true. His administration strengthened Egypt. His loyalty to Pharaoh was complete. To Pharaoh, Joseph's strength was Egypt's strength. So Israel settled in the Goshen. Joseph had prepared. The brothers returned to their father with carts and provisions. Joseph said at last, "Do not quarrel on the way, a heart that guards the unity of the brothers." Back in Canaan, they told Jacob, "Joseph is alive. He is ruler of Egypt." Seeing the carts Joseph had sent, Jacob's spirit revived. "My son Joseph is alive. It is enough. Before I die, I will go and see him." Thus Israel's descent into Egypt began. The two sons who bore the cross for Israel, Judah and Joseph, later received greater blessing in Jacob's prophecy. Joseph received the double portion. Judah received the kingship. To the two who gave themselves for Israel were given the material birthright and the royal birthright. History fulfilled it exactly. Joseph's tribes received wide land. From Judah came King David. The cross is the power of God. When the cross of love is born, God's power appears, a power the world cannot overcome. Jesus said he was born to be king and came for the mission of kingship. So are we. We also are called to be royal leaders. A king is one who bears the cross of love. The cross of love is truth. When we love on behalf of God, that is victory and God's glory. The one who bears the cross is king. Will you bear the cross of love? Amen.
Genesis 45, 1-28. Then Joseph could not control himself before all those who stood by him. He cried, "Make everyone go out from me." So no one stayed with him when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he wept aloud, so that the Egyptians heard it, and the household of Pharaoh heard it. And Joseph said to his brothers, "I am Joseph. Is my father still alive?" But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed at his presence. So Joseph said to his brothers, "Come near to me, please." And they came near. And he said, "I am your brother Joseph, whom you sold into Egypt. And now do not be distressed or angry with yourselves, because you sold me here. For God sent me before you to preserve life. For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there are yet 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant on earth, and to keep alive for you many survivors. So it was not you who sent me here, but God. He has made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and ruler over all the land of Egypt. Hurry and go up to my father and say to him, 'Thus says your son Joseph, God has made me lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not tarry. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me, you and your children and your children's children, and your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. There I will provide for you, for there are yet 5 years of famine to come, so that you and your household and all that you have do not come to poverty. And now your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin see, that it is my mouth that speaks to you. You must tell my father of all my honor in Egypt, and of all that you have seen. Hurry and bring my father down here." Then he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. And he kissed all his brothers and wept upon them. When the report was heard in Pharaoh's house, "Joseph's brothers have come," it pleased Pharaoh and his servants. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, "Say to your brothers, 'Do this: load your beasts and go back to the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households and come to me, and I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you shall eat the fat of the land.' And you, Joseph, are commanded to say, 'Do this: take wagons from the land of Egypt for your little ones and for your wives, and bring your father, and come. Have no concern for your goods, for the best of all the land of Egypt is yours." The sons of Israel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons, according to the command of Pharaoh, and gave them provisions for the journey. To each and all of them he gave a change of clothes, but to Benjamin he gave 300 shekels of silver and 5 changes of clothes. To his father he sent as follows: 10 donkeys loaded with the good things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain, bread, and provision for his father on the journey. Then he sent his brothers away, and as they departed, he said to them, "Do not quarrel on the way." So they went up out of Egypt, and came to the land of Canaan to their father Jacob. And they told him, "Joseph is still alive, and he is ruler over all the land of Egypt." And his heart became numb, for he did not believe them. But when they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said to them, and when he saw the wagons that Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of their father Jacob revived. And Israel said, "It is enough. Joseph my son is still alive. I will go and see him before I die."